Hello everyone, welcome to this session and we'll learn in this tutorial regarding the loops in Java. So what is a loop in Java? A loop in Java is nothing but a set of statements, a set of block of code which will be executed repeatedly until a particular termination condition is met. So a set of a block of code which will be keep on running from the beginning till end, then again from the beginning till end, and it will keep on going through in this way till some condition is met. One step, one execution from the top of the code block to the end of the code block is known as the iteration or iteration. It is a iteration of a loop. I'll go through with all these things with examples using this Eclipse very soon. So before that, we try to understand what is the need of a loop. Suppose we want to print this thing, system.out.println hello world. If you want to print this statement 100 times, if you don't use loops, then what will happen? You have to copy this line and you have to keep on typing. To keep on typing for how many times? 100 times. And then we have to run it to get this output, correct? Now, similarly, it will take what will be the issue with that? It will take lots of time. Yet the same thing can be done by using a two lines of statement. Just write down one loop statement over here. One loop statement you have to write, and then this single line of code will be executed for 100 times. So this will make our code comprehensive, easy to understand, and easy to manage. So that is the use of loop in Java. So for a repeated statements, the statements which requires repeatedly execution, that thing can be used by what? By loops only. So there are two technical types of loops in Java. That is based on the way a loops executes. We can divide the loops into two categories. One is the entry controlled, another is the exit control. In case of entry control, the condition is checked first. This is the entry point. We are coming from the top. So from here we are coming. This green position, it is a determination that will go to the further position or not. The further position first will test the condition. If the condition is satisfied, then only the body of the loop will be executed. And it will be keep on executed. See this thing is coming back. It means that it will keep on executed unless the test condition is not becoming false. If it is true, then it will be keep on executed. This will generate one iteration of the loop. So this is one iteration of the loop. If the test condition is false, then it will go to this particular side and will come out of the loop. So in of entry control loops, what happens? The test condition is justifies first, whether it is true or false. But in case of exit control loops, what happens? The body of the loop will be executed first, then it will go through with the test condition. So in case of exit control loop, the body of the loop will be executed at least once, because at the beginning it is not checking the condition. So the body of the loop will be executed first, then the test condition will be checked. If the test condition is true, then it will be going to the to the loop, and it will be keep on iterating. And if the test condition is false, then it will not go to the body of the loop again. So for the true test condition is true means it will be keep on going through with the loop, and otherwise not. This is the difference between entry control and exit control loop. So there are three the well-known loops into the Java: while loop, do while loop, and Java and for loop. Sorry, while loop, do while loop, and for loop. So this while loop and for loop is an example of entry control loop, where the condition is checked first. But in case of do while loop, it is an example of exit control loop. I'll come to these points one by one. So first we'll go through with the first loop statement, that is the while loop. While loop is the most simplest looping structure, and it is an entry control loop structure. How it looks? It looks like this. First we'll provide the while. So we'll use this statement. We'll write down on a while loop right now. While, open the bracket and close the bracket, and provide this curly bracket. That's what now. Open the bracket and provide this curly bracket. Whatever we'll write inside, that will be the statements that will be executed if this test condition is satisfied. We'll write down some test condition. So the test condition is give some variable over here. A is equals to so here you can see that it keep on executing. See this, it is not stopping. See here, keep on executing because A is always greater than 0, correct? So this condition is always satisfying. So this while loop becomes a infinite loop. Sorry, infinite loop. Yes. Now we have to provide some conditions so that it stops to a particular situation. So I'm giving for each iteration, this will be known as the one iteration. From the program control will go from line number 7 to 11, it will be known as the a single iteration of the loop while. So A plus plus means what will happen here now? The value of A will be increased from A is greater than 0 or not. Sorry, we have to provide minus minus. Provide here minus minus. Then what will happen? The value of A from 1, it will go to the first iteration to 0. It will not be greater than 0. Correct? In this way, we can control the loop. So a single time only this statement is executed. Next time it is not executed. If we make it 5, then it is executed 5 times. Because it will be reduced from 5 to 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 0, like that. See here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Till it is 0, because the condition is checking is A is greater than 0. So if A is not greater than 0, is when the A is equals to 0, due to this statement, due to this decrement statement, then it will go out of the loop. As simple as that. Yes. So that is one example of the simple while loop. It is an entry control loop. Entry control loop, because here we are first checking the condition. So we'll go through with another program. Few programs will go through. See this code, how it's working. Some variable given the value 0. So here the value of sum is equals to 0. Value of I is equals to 1. Now I is checked with the value, it should be less than or equals to 10. This thing should be satisfied each time it goes inside the while loop. If this condition is not satisfied, then the body of the while loop cannot be entered by the Java controller, the Java control. Correct? Now sum is equals to sum plus I. So for each iteration, what we are doing, the sum value will be, for the first time it will be what? 0 plus the value of I. What is the value of I? 1. Be sum is equals to 1. Then sum will be equals to how much? Then I plus plus, that is the value of I is incremented by 1. So now I becomes 2. So is I, so it will not go out of here. Okay, it will come back from line number 11 to line number 7, because it is an iteration, it's a loop. It will be keep on iterating these statements until unless this condition is unsatisfied. So now it will go with the value of I is equals to 2. Yes. I is less than 10. Yes, the condition is matching. So now 1 plus 2 equals to 3 will be added to the value of sum. And it will increment the value of I from the 1 to, from 2 to 3, like that. Then 3 to 4, then 4 to 5, till it goes till I is greater than 10, because it is less than equals to 10. So if I is equals to 10, while incrementing till 10th iteration, it will be I will be equals to 10. Then also this condition will be satisfied. Then in the next iteration, when the I's value will be from 10 to 11, then it will come out of the while loop, because this condition is no more satisfied. That time we'll print the value of sum. The value of sum is 55 this way. So calculate manually, then you can get the value is 55. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equals to 6 plus 4 is equals to 10 plus 5 equals to 15 plus 6 equals to 21, like that you have to go through. You go through with the manually also, you'll get the same out. Go to another example. So now what we're doing here is no body in this loop. Single line will be executed, correct? After the body. So body is not there. So what we're doing over here, let's execute this. Mid value is 15. So how it is getting the mid value? The value of x is incremented for each iteration of the while loop, and the value of y is decremented for each iteration in the while loop, correct? So mid value we can reach between x and y in this way. Yes, when this value is less than this value, it will keep on going, right? Yes. So whenever it is terminating, that is this condition is no more satisfying, that time the value of x becomes 5 times incremented to 15. This has been 5 times decremented to 15. Then 15 is not less than 15, correct? 15 after incrementing 5 times, 5 iteration, the value of x becomes 15. Decrementing 5 times, the value of y becomes 15. 15 is equals to 15. 15 is not less than 15. At that time, the while loop will terminate. Then the program's control will go to the next line. System.out.println, the mid value is 15 will be printed because the value of x has been incremented to from 10 to 15. So the output will be value is 15. Another example of while loop. Now we'll see about the do while loop. So there is a technical difference between the do while loop and the while loop. The difference is actually it's a variant of the while loop only, except that it executes the body of the loop first, then it evaluates the looping condition, because it's an exit control loop. It's an exit control loop, do while loop. The structure of do while loop. First, do and this body will execute for sure at least once, even if this condition is not satisfied. First time this will definitely execute. Then if this condition is satisfied, then again this do part will execute. And again, if this while condition is satisfied, then again do will execute. So this do part is iteration part, and this part is checking the control, checking the condition. Okay, so we'll see that. We'll see with this particular program how do while loop works. It's a very interesting thing actually. So what happens over here in this program? One integer variable I have taken. Name of the variable is x. X is equals to 1. This line will execute at least for once, correct? And we are printing the value of x here. So x will be printed as 1. Then it is incremented by 1. We become 2. And then here is checking that x is less than equals to 6 or not. Yes. So this is true, right? X is less than 6. Then it will execute again once. It will be 2. It will print 2. Then 1 will be printed for the first iteration. 2 will be printed in the second iteration. 3 will be printed in the second iteration. It will be keep on going till it will match the value of 6. It is less than equals to 6. So when x will be equals to 6, then also this part will be executed again once, printing the value 6. But when the value will become greater than 6, then this while will give the response to false, because this condition is not matching. That time this part will not execute. It will come out of the code. Even if you give something like that, if x less than 0, suppose, yes, x is already equals to 1, na? So still, though this first condition itself is wrong, but this do part will execute at least once, and that will be at the output, it will print the value of 1. See, that's the beauty of do while loop. This do part will execute at least once, whatever the condition it is. Based upon the condition, it will execute the output that many times. Now it will execute from 1 to 10. Always keep in mind that to give this condition properly, this increment or decrement properly over here. Otherwise, it will be an infinite loop, because this condition will be always satisfying if you don't give any increment or decrement, which will go and stuck to here. So if for example, if I don't give any increment or decrement over here, then do part will execute each time, because this while is always true, because x is 1 and that is always less than 10. It will be an infinite loop. Then only it will terminate. Otherwise, it will be keep on running. So we can understand that it's very important to give this part of this loop. First one is to initialize the value. We'll initialize outside, then we'll give the increment or decrement values here, the changing of the values of the loop over here inside the do statement. The condition will provide inside the while statement. So this do while loop will execute in these three different stages. You can see with another line of code here. This code will be interesting one. We are using row and column integer variable, and we are printing in the output screen multiplication table first. Then the value of row is initialized to 1. Then we have a do column is equals to 1. Column is initialized to 1. Now inside there is another do while loop. It's like a nesting of do while loop. Separated now. Inside this do while loop, another do while loop. So in this do while loop, we are doing what? The value of integer x is set as row into column. So what is the value of row? Row is equals to 1. But the column value is also 1 over here. And we are printing by using this statement, printing and concatenating the value of x. This is for the output formatting. The column is equals to column plus 1. The column's value is incremented by 1. We can write down column plus plus. With the same effect it will come. We are checking that till the column value is not greater than 5. Less than equals to 5 means not greater than 5. So column will be executed till 1 to 5. Yes, then when it will be coming out of there, then it will print in the next line. Backslash is for the next line. So it will go to the next line in the output line. And then row will be row plus 1. Yes, and this part will execute till row is greater than 6. Okay, so it's like a nesting of do while loops. To execute that, the output will be mesmerized actually. It's a nice output. It's like 2 to 4, 3 to 6, 4 to 8, 5 to. So it value of this 2, 6, 8, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 5, 10, 20. This table is generated by what? Not by using two for loops, rather two do while loops. It's like a two do while loops are there inside. So with that do, there is another do while loop. And this do while loops out execution depends upon this do while. Yes, so for the column value 1, they are for the first column value, they are getting this, what? This value of the keep on print. And then it's printing the value of next line, going to the next line each time till 5 rows are completed. This 5 rows are getting completed. Getting the first row, what we're giving the value of x row is equals to 1. So 1 into 1, 1. Fit here. Then 1 into the value of column is incremented to 2, right? Value of column is incremented to 2 in the next iteration, right? So 1 into 2 is equals to 2 is printed. Then percentage 4d is separating this space. Then we have 1 into the value of column is equals to 1 only, na? Sorry, value of row is equals to 1 only, na? The column is only changing here. So 1 into 3 equals to 3, 1 into 4 is equals to 4, 1 into 5 is equals to 5, and then it is coming out of this loop because the column cannot go more than 5. Next to the row, the value of row is incremented to 2. So we are coming to next row. It's 2. The value of row becomes now 2. So now 2 into 1 is equals to 2. 2 into 2, the column value is incrementing from 1 to 2 now, na? 2 into 2 is equals to 4. Then row is 2, column now 3. So 2 into 3 is equals to 6. Row is 4. Row is 2. 2 into 4 is equals to 8. 2 into 5 is equals to 10. The same way in the next line, what we're going for, 3 into 1 is equals to 1. 3 into 2 is equals to 6. 3 into 3 9 into 4 is equals to 12, and 3 into 5 is equals to 15. Same way for 4 and 5. So one thing is sure, one variable is starting from here. The value is for the column integer variable starting from 1 to 5 each time, and the row is incrementing each time from. till row is matching till 5. Here the column is matching 5. So when the column is going to more than 5, it's terminating. When here the row is getting more than 5, it will, that's it. And increment the value of row and column and change this program. This program will be available to you. This note in the description of this program, this description of this video. We'll go to the for loop. For loop is the entry control loop like the while loop only. It has a comprehensive view. That is, in a for loop, in a single statement, generally we provide the entire scenario. Here, like this, we make the open bracket and closing bracket. There only we initialize the variables, then we provide the test condition, and we provide the iterations, and then incrementing on decrement. You can go through the for loop. Straight the use of for loop. Keep in mind, for loop is most widely used loop into Java. Most widely used across all the program space. So you are displaying number from 1 to 5. So a for loop is taken over here. Here the integer variable I is initialized with the value 1, and I is taken the condition that should be less than 5 or equals to 5, not more than 5. And it should be incremented by 1 for each and every iteration of for loop. So for each time we are printing the value of I. So at the beginning the initialized value of I is of the 1 will be printed. Right? Then it is incremented by 1, it will be printed 2. Then it will be incremented by 3, and it will be 3. So it will be keep on displaying until unless this condition is not violated. So when it will be more than 5, this condition will be violated. The next values will not be printed because the for loop will terminate. When condition will terminate. I is less than equals to 5, it should be. Otherwise it will not be executed. So this printing from 1 to 5, you cannot the value of 6. Similarly, we are printing display number from 5 to 1. So for that, what we have done, we have initialized the variable to 5. J, we have taken the one another variable j and we have given the value 5. And j should be greater than 0. So we are not going to negative values. Greater than 0 means till 1 will go. And then j minus minus. We are decrementing j for each iteration. First, the value of 5 will be printed. Then the value will be decremented by 1. So from 5, it will be printed to 4. Then it will print to 3. And it will be keep on printing till it is satisfies this condition. It should be greater than 0. You can use any variable, by the way. Not only that, you can use any variable. You can use ds as a variable. For all, for not for only for the for loop, for while loop and do while loop, you are free to use any variable. Yes, so variable doesn't matter. The logic matters. Yes, but here logic should be wrong. Otherwise, it will be an infinite loop. For example, if you give the ds should be greater than 5 by mistake, suppose you have given, then it will be an infinite loop, na? Because it will keep on printing the value of ds because there is no stop. Condition will be always satisfied. Ds is always greater than, suppose less than 5, suppose it will be always less than 5 only, na? So it will be only. So what happens here in this particular code will not print any. So it is first defined. Yes is equal to 5, right? It's not 5. So it is not even the value. It is not even going inside the for loop because condition you have given by mistake wrong condition. If you make the old thing same, whatever we have greater than 0, greater than 0, and if you increment it, then what will happen? Instead of minus minus, then what will happen? See, yes, it's always greater than 0, and it is keep on incrementing. So it will be start displaying from 5, 6, 7, 8 like that because it is incrementing one by one. It is always greater than 0, so it will be an infinite loop. You have to be very serious. Giving values in other loop forcefully. printed 1,59,209 because you have given this wrong statement over here. This logic is by mistake given to greater than 0. It is always greater than 0 na, and it is keep on incrementing the value. All the new values of ds will be printed from 5 to infinity. To stop, then you have to give the value here minus minus. Be very careful to give the logic here. To give wrong logic, then definitely it will be a infinite loop, and the loop will lose its focus, and it will always give you wrong result. Let's get another code and we'll finish our discussion for loop. Now, this code, it's very easy actually, but you have to understand what you're doing over here. It's a tricky one. So integer I is equals to 1, sum is equals to 0. Here we are not providing anything. Just we are providing a single that I should be less than equals to 5. That I should not be more than 6. So what you're doing basically, it's a free run. That is, inside the for loop, you are giving the increment and decrement stuff. The increment is given inside the for loop. So it's like a part of the while loop only. This for loop is like a part of the while loop. In while loop, we'll provide the condition only, na? So here also you are just providing the condition, nothing else. Now sum is equals to sum plus I into I. So what is the value of I? 1. 1 into 1 is equals to 1. 1 plus 0. Sum is equals to 0, na? Initialize to 0. So 0 plus 1 into 1 equals to 1. Iteration, it is what? The value of sum is equals to 1. Correct? In first iteration, the value of I has become incremented from 1 to 2. In the next iteration, what we will do? The value of sum is equals to already 1. So 1 plus 2 multiplied by 2. Then it should be equals to 5. Yes. So now in the third iteration will also go, it will go to the third iteration also, because I is right now the value having 3. From 2 it has become 3, right? 3 is less than 5. So now 5 plus, it will be 5 plus 3 into 3 plus 3 multiplied by 3. So how much the value it is? 9 plus 5 is equals to 14. And in this way, it will give you the value of 14 plus 4 to 16 is equals to 30. And 30 plus 5 into 5 is equals to 55. 30 plus 25, correct na? The next iteration, so the result will be sum is equals to 55. So in this way also you can use the for loop. In this way we can use the for loop. We can just provide a part, you can use a part of the for loop's control into the for loop itself, and the other part you can put inside the body of the for loop, because we want this flexibility. We have to optimize the for loop and customize the for loop for our own need. Hope that will help you out in understanding the basics of the Java loops. Thank you very much. Please subscribe.